I can't just view everything from the project. There are just some things that I just aren't ready to be shown just quite yet, but I can play other games in the same genre, but one thing I just really love about TCM, the victim gameplay specifically, is because of how hardcore and challenging it actually is. Cause like before this game came out, I was already planned for something kind of similar. It's kind of what you see in when you look at paleontology, what they call convergence. Convergence is essentially two different species that share a lot of the same characteristics. Like, take wolves and coyotes, or hyenas for example. They're both canids. They both have the same noses, similar snouts. They both have the same paws, the same claws. But their faces overall look a little bit different. It's like, even if you look at a wolf and a bear, you may think, oh, that's similar to a wolf and a bear. Well, they both have paws, they both have claws, they both have noses, they both have snouts, they both have fangs. Just that, one is a hulking monster, the other is agile. The same thing for so I think it's kind of funny when people try to say that, oh, this game copied that game and that game copied this game. Actually, that's not always the case, because there are games that wind up similar to one another, but that were in development during the same time. Just that one may release like a few months before the other one, and then just because the other game released later, but just a few months later, they'll say, oh, we copied this game. It's like, thing is, it's so easy for people to look at Dead by Daylight and look at TCM, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and say, oh, see, they both can 360, they're both in third person, see, they copy each other, it's the same game. That's no different than saying, oh, every first-person shooter game, it's just another copy of Halo. It's that type of argument holds no weight, because yes, Halo, Call of Duty, and Rainbow Six, they're all first-person shooters, but what sets them apart? Shields, it has active camo, it has different grenade types, it has primary, secondary. Halo CE is very simple. Then Halo 2 expanded on that with adding, boot plasma rifles. They added the beam rifle. They added, they did have the energy sword in Halo C, but in Halo 2 they actually made it playable. And meanwhile in Halo 3 they actually improved upon that by adding two different things. Now, what sets Halo apart from Call of Duty is Call of Duty you have no shields. In Call of Duty, it's more of a pick 10 system. Pick 10 system, pick 5 system, whatever. And you can and your guns have attachments. You can put different scopes on, different barrels, different muzzles, etc., etc. You cannot do that in Halo. So that's what sets Call of Duty apart differently. Call of Duty is more tactical based at the time, where Halo is more of like a fun party game. And then Rainbow Six, on the other hand, was way more tactical than Call of Duty. Like, you actually could destroy walls, you could rescue hostages, like you took on the role of like an actual SWAT team, which was different than taking on a special forces military role of Call of Duty. So it's like what sets TCM is not a copy of Dead by Daylight. Yes, they're both in the same genre, they're just both same type of game, but they're vastly different. I mean, if you look at just the skill tree, Dead by Daylight has its blood web, but the blood web changes every time you level up. In TCM, it's an actual tree system like this, where you can respec as many times as you want with no penalties. And here's another thing Dead by Daylight does not have. Attributes, toughness, endurance, strength, efficiency, stealth, etc., etc. And you can increase these. Individually. Yes, there are perks, but frankly, the game has perks. Dead by Daylight has perks, Call of Duty has perks, lots of games utilize a perk system. And so it's like, it's got this aspect of it. There's like this aspect of like, these are in the same genre, but they're two vastly different games. And not only that, there's a difference too. With Dead by Daylight, you've got windows. This game, you have barricades. Now, this game, you cannot hold down magical powers like in Dead by Daylight, but in this game, there is destruction. There are crawl spaces, there are wall gaps, there are actual hiding places to hide in, not just closets.
Jared Gaines wasn't sure what he was expecting when he discovered a burnt-out truck on his back 40 this morning. Gaines was patrolling the perimeter of his land just after sunrise when he saw the truck in the distance. It was apparent that the truck was damaged from a distance, but closer inspection led Gaines to find the charred remains of a currently unidentified man in the driver's seat, and a large bag filled with money roughly 30 feet away. Gaines says the truck didn't look familiar, though he suspects someone is going to be missing that money. But anyone feeling the gold rush should stay home. The truck, the remains, and the cash
You start in one area that's locked off.
I gotta get out of here. Oh, nice. Okay.
can find, like, let's say, also each building kind of has their own dedicated facility key. Just because you're in a facility does not guarantee that its relative key will spawn there.
Fuck! There they go! Is it clear? They're everywhere. Was that a person? Hey, what's this? They can't get seen again. Shit! Get away! Get away! I don't see them. Anything I can use? They have to be around here somewhere. To watch myself. Are they gone? Are they really gone? I know they're still around. I gotta stay away.
Why am I inside here? Why is the fire
There they are again. I need to lose them. Now. I think it's clear. Maybe.
Lost him again. I gotta stay hidden. Somehow. Everywhere I turn, there they are. Seems safe enough.
Was blog, the Scotland blog, the highlighted thing.
Might be safe now.
Stop! Go slow!
Take this!
Bacon, bim bam boom! Feel it! I think this should...
Come on.
Oh, thank God! I might be able to make it now.
If you're looking for sympathy, there's a big area. You better cool it. You're starting to bleed.
Oh, Jesse, sweetie, I know you're here. I can feel it. Shit. Did they see me?
Get back here and take this pounding.
Oh, not again. Not quiet. Jesus Christ! Oh.
Anyways, they're on to where you can find the relevant key, and I want to where it's a key that will essentially unlock every single door in the building. You can unlock doors, you can relock doors. But I want to where except I want to where breaking a lock would be faster than picking it, but it's way more noisy, and also takes a lot of stamina. It would take a lot of stamina to do so. Then the other things are I have thought. I lost it. The things. Because it's kind of been a long day, so I've been pretty exhausted all day. Makes sense to where each survivor is gonna have their own unique utility to them, and there's no duplicates as well. So it's like some are gonna have different stats than others, where some may be better at handling recoil, other ones may be able to craft things. And the inventory systems, there will be an inventory system, but it won't be a 1 or 2 piece inventory system. Actually, it'll be an array, it'll be an array excluding weapons. Each player will be able to have around 3 to 4 items in their inventory. Around 3. 4. And I was thinking of even adding packs to the game that you can find. You can hold even more items. But then there's going to be numerous places to hide, like abandoned cars, logs, outcrops, bushes. Like, there's going to be a lot of places, but then there's going to be a few dead zones as well. And it's going to be nice because it's going to be super hardcore, where it's like, for the longest time, I was debating on whether having the creature team be specifically first person or third person, and I thought, well, first person is actually relatively difficult, simply because of the way the bodies are. Like, it's four-legged, even the theropods, they have long necks, they have long snouts, like, people don't have snouts. So it's like, how are you going to make this work? Exactly. And I was thinking, well, and then I thought, well, if they go into a building, like in a tight space, and the camera, let's say, is in third person, it's gonna, like, the player is going to feel cramped, just because it's kind of a claustrophobic space, the third person camera, so I'm thinking, what if I make this, what if I add a seamless transition, where it's like, so I'm like, what if there's a seamless transition where it's third person outside, but it's only in tight spaces, where the third person camera will switch to a first person perspective. just for things exclusively for raptors and amphibians. Basically, every creature relegated to the small class. And then I want these specific abilities, like certain specific abilities for the large class, which would be the Rexes. They have a special ability where they can actually zoom, where they can go straight up first person, and they can zoom far in. Like, let's say if they're on top of a hill and they're overlooking a large area, they essentially have, since they have binocular vision, they can essentially zoom in to distant objects. Like, it's basically like the name implies, like binocular vision. Like, you can zoom in to far out objects, meaning essentially you can stalk survivor players from a distance and they have no idea that they're even being observed. Like, they could be on a tree line, or they could be looting a car, and they have no idea that you'd be on a hill using, binocular vision to basically, like, zoom in to basically get a better reading on the area to kind of pinpoint where they are. I've got mixed up. Oh no, it's a Hans and a hitchhiker, but that's okay. I've got Bomb Squad. Essentially what Overlook does, it gives me 3 charges, but level 3 gives me 4 charges. And no cells, that Bomb Squad, let's see, 3 craps. Love it. Let's take a look power. Nice, I have 2 modes. Second mode. The only thing is second mode is special because second mode is something that has never been done before, never been seen before. So when it comes to second mode specifically, the only teaser I am going to give is the fact that even though maps will have day and night cycles, with the second mode, the maps are smaller. People do not play as survivors in the traditional sense, and
authorities were alerted to Helm's Ranch yesterday to investigate reports of cattle abuse, but what they found instead was disturbingly serene. The ranch was devoid of livestock.
Think of it this way,
Instead, 13 men,
everything's
all dressed in plain white clothes, were sitting in chairs spread throughout the property.
And then all of a sudden the silence is broken,
There
but
of
it's just
sunglasses,
chaos
and
everywhere.
holding a copy of King James
Chaos.
Bible. No man showed
And
signs of
then
abuse,
after that
neglect,
initial
or trauma.
burst of
The sheriff's
chaos,
department
it
believes each man
calms down
ingested
a little
some
bit,
amount of potassium.
but not all the way back down to what it was before. And there's gonna be a bit different. There's gonna be less. The teams are gonna be smaller.
I gotta get out
and
of here.
smaller maps. There was a third mode that I was actually designing. But third mode is kind of more like a hunter mode. Like not it's not like the it's not like the base mode.
It's me, Jules.
What is this?
If you've ever played the old game called Evolve, you know that doesn't really exist anymore, but as a game in the
Is it loud?
Well, look who's here.
there's a game where you hunted down a monster, and the monster also had to kill the it's kind of similar mode to Giant, but it's a little different. If I'm not saying that one.
Everywhere I turn, there they are.
I can do this! Almost! God! I'm free. Listen to me. I know it's... Oh my God! I have to find help!
Essentially, I've been learning some stuff, and you know, the thing is, I've been kind of getting the resources to be able to just doing this myself for the most part, just doing the whole prototype by myself, because it's just a lot of people these days that have been so radicalized and so like insanitized by like the news and all kinds of stuff, where you just can't work with them. Like they'll call you they'll call you a lunatic, they'll call you crazy. Like there are videos online of just people straight up like harassing their customers, like threatening their customers, getting in their faces and screaming at them, like full on having mental episodes. And it's like when it comes to radicalized people like that have just been fear-mongered by the news and that feel so strongly like that, you can't work with them because it's a hostile environment. Like you don't feel safe, like you don't feel safe around those people. It's like those people could blow up at any second. They could destroy stuff. They could destroy business property. They could screw over your project. They could steal your project. They could assault you. They could harass you. They could steal your money. Like like that. So it's like with a lot of people these days, like especially the younger people, it's so hard because it's like you try to be respectful with them. You try to treat them respectfully. You try to be nice to them. You try to ask nicely and politely for help. And you know what they do to you in return? It's like the same, like whenever you ask for help, you're just called lazy. You get people that say, oh well, you just want a handout. You just don't want to do anything. You just want everybody to do it for you. It's like, can somebody that can the captain of a ship run his ship all by himself? No. Can the captain can the captain of the USS Enterprise, not Star Trek, but the actual like aircraft carrier USS Enterprise, can the captain of that ship actually sail an aircraft carrier all by himself? No, he has crew. He has a crew. He has a workforce under his command that are getting paid by the government and that are running the ship. You've got engineers working in the engine room, making sure that those propellers are running. You have people on the flight deck managing and maintaining all the aircraft on board. You have the communications officers relaying communications of ship operations and their operational status to like the captain, the higher ups all the time. It's like when somebody tells you that you're just lazy, that you're just wanting a handout, that you just want everything done for you, those very same people don't do anything. Those very same people have no job. They live with their parents. All they do is troll people online and insult people online. They're just disrespectful. They're narcissists. All they do is they try to take advantage of you by trying to victimize you in order to accrue power for themselves. They will victimize other people to try to empower themselves. And so it's like when it comes to like what I've seen and whatnot, here's another thing, guys. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not valid. Don't let anybody tell you that you're worthless. Don't ever let anybody say that you want everything done for you. Don't let anybody tell you that you're just lazy, that you want a handout, because I guarantee you guys probably work your butts off to get stuff done all the time. And I work my butt off all the time. I won't lie to you, it's like I've been actually learning Unreal Engine blueprints to actually get this made, because for the past year or so, I tried to get a programmer. I tried to get one. I haven't found one because they won't listen to me. They won't take me serious. It's like they won't take me seriously. They won't listen to me. Like, I try to coordinate with them, and it's like they either ask for too much, or they're just really, or they're old, experienced people that aren't asking too much, but they won't take you seriously because they go, oh, well, he's like some 25-year-old. It's like, well, what does he know? Excuse me, but my brother was around 25 years old when he joined the Coast Guard, and he's done numerous search and rescue operations. He's straight up arrested drug smugglers at the border. So a 25-year-old can do a lot. Look at the Iraq War. Numerous people who were in their 20s in the Iraq War, they got their limbs blown off and whatnot, literally putting their own lives on the line for people back home. And here you have older people, not all older people, but a lot of older people that just assume that, oh, this guy, what does a young adult know? A lot of things, actually, more than you. Thing is, you have a lot of younger people that think the problem is you have a lot of younger people that think they know that think they know everything, that they know all this stuff, and then you have some older people that are very stubborn, they're very ignorant and arrogant, and it's like you have people on both sides that kind of target you, because on one side people are like, oh, I know more than you, and then you have people on the other side that are like, oh, well, you're incompetent, you don't know what you're doing. It's like, excuse me, I have an entire game design document that I've designed. The only reason why I don't show everything, the full design document, is to prevent leaks. I keep everything in the design document compartmentalized. Meaning whenever I have somebody working on a specific asset, like a specific model or animation, I always treat it as a need to know basis. Just to compartmentalize everything to prevent leaks. Because no business, no studio in their right mind likes leaks. Now most studios don't compartmentalize things because they actually have an actual in-house studio. I'm not rich. I don't make enough for a full-time studio. So I've been pitching in my own money, literally paying contractors to make the models and animations just for the prototype. And now people go, oh, well, how do you expect to make this full game if you're just paying these people? Well, you have to start somewhere. And, well, look at Friday the 13th the game. Friday the 13th the game started out as just a prototype. And it became something more. Because people saw what it could be. There was a community that saw what that game could be. And they donated their own money to the Kickstarter. And as the Kickstarter grew, as the donations rolled in, they got to go in the full production hiring, a full team of people. They straight up got so many kill animations, context kills. They had full-on voice acting. It's like they had a scoring system. They had a win/loss system. Like, the game was completed. The game was done, and they even added DLC afterwards. It's like all that a game needs, all that a person needs is a chance. All that somebody needs is to be given a chance to actually build something. And most people were given lots of chances in the 20th century. But nowadays, in the 21st century, nobody's really given a chance. Everybody's laughed at, everybody's lied about. You have a lot of people shoving each other over and throwing each other under the bus. Just to get money. You have people that are straight up you have people in the courtroom that are straight up snitching on their accomplices just to get a lesser prison sentence. Like, like at this point, it's kind of like ingrained in people culturally to just put themselves before others, and it's like, it's fucked up because, in such a world like that, I kind of decided, you know what? Screw hiring a programmer. I'm just going to try to learn this myself, and I'm just going to do the best I can with actually making this. Because thing is, I know I'm taking a risk learning this myself. I know it's not an easy thing to do. But you know what? I'm willing to take on the challenge of actually learning. I'm willing to take on the challenge of actually trying to learn and actually trying to do stuff. Because the one thing people can't take away from you? It's the skills you have learned. It's the knowledge you have. Thing is, I actually believe nowadays that people need to be more, people need to be taught to be more self-reliant these days, because the culture is just so twisted that you can't rely on anybody else really hardly. It's like you just have to rely on yourself for the most part. Not always. But it's like you can't really just expect some magical fairy godmother to come out of nowhere and give you a helping hand. But the thing is, my plan is to just because I do have a plan. My overall plan is to get the prototype made, compile it, send it off through the Unreal Engine, through their developer grant application, and in hopes that they'll give me a grant of $50,000 to $500,000 to actually, like, so I can rent out a studio. I can hire just a small team of people, like a programmer, and a level designer, and then a hard server smaller, and then the music person. So it's programmer, hard server smaller, level designer, and then composer. That's only 4 people. So all I need is a team of 4 people, and then that's it. Like, I can do my own community managing, really. That's all I need, and then I can finally start, like, because then after that, the hardest stage to get to is the prototype, because whenever you're first building a prototype, you don't have a follower base, you don't have the community. All you have is your bank account. All you have is your bank account and the computer in front of you, and then the design document. Thing is, the hardest part is learning how to make that first prototype, getting from point A to point B. But after the initial prototype stage, it's relatively smooth sailing after that. Because since the foundations have already been laid, the connections have already been made, all that's needed now is marketing, getting that out to influencers, gaining a following from it, and then just starting up a crowdfunder, get money flowing in purely for the project and whatnot. Like, I've been so dedicated. Like, creating games has really been one of my dreams since I was little. Ever since I played Halo for the first time in 2004. Like, I felt it. I didn't consciously perceive it at the time, but I felt that this is what I want to do with my life. Not working at some job at a gas station, not being an electrician or anything like that, but actually creating fun, wonderful games that I can just share with other people. Like, creating something that's actually meaningful, that's actually good. And I've never given up on that. I guess that's one of the good traits I have. Stubbornness, in a sense. I guess it's not stubbornness, it's perseverance. Because, I've been laughed at so many times in the past. I've been told by people, oh, you need to go to college, you need to do this, you need to do that, oh, you're never gonna make it. And you know what? I completely block it all out and I ignore it, because they don't know me, they don't know what I know, they don't know what my plans are. I know what my goals are. I know how to reach them. Just that the process is so painstakingly slow. I tend to rush everything. Because I have a habit of just wanting to get to the final result and not actually enjoy the actual journey of actually getting there. Like, I guess it's kind of like how whenever you go visit your grandma's house, and it's a long car ride, and you just don't care about the scenery, you don't care about the ride, you just want to get there, you just want to see her. That's kind of what it is. At the same time, it's like, I guess it's described in a way of like, if all you can see is the journey, is like, if all you can see is the goal, it's like you can see it's like one can see the goal, but they can miss the path. Thing is, I know the path. I know I need a prototype. The problem is, the problem for so long was, well, I don't have a path to getting a prototype because I can't get anybody to program me. So I'm like, you know what? Instead of actually doing instead of having somebody do the programming, I kind of just decided a few days ago, why don't I just do it? Thing is, the reason why I've tried so hard to try to get somebody else to do it is because I've never been good at math. I've been good at history. I've been good at other things, but not everything. I'm very bad at anything above a decimal system. Apparently anything above dividing. Like times tables, I know sometimes. I don't know everything. You could say I don't know algebra. I don't know calculus. I don't even know geometry. Really. Yes, high school stuff. I don't know it because I was developmentally delayed when I was born. So even though I comprehend the same level of stuff that my siblings do, the problem is that my brain, like my cognition, my cognitive processes, and then how I like my ability to like think and comprehend stuff, my comprehension, everything, it was really delayed, meaning that portion of my brain actually developed slower than my siblings did, meaning that while my brother already had, like he already had a job at the pool at 15, he got to be head lifeguard at around 17. I didn't even have any of that. In fact, I was actually sheltered way too much by my own mother. My mother would often use the excuse of, oh, you're not responsible to do this, you're not responsible enough to have a driver's license and go play and to play paintball with your brother, or to go hang out with him and your friends. And it's like it took several years, and it wasn't easy. But I did end up convincing her when I was around 20 that, hey, I am responsible, I am adult, and I'm not a little kid anymore. No, she did eventually come around, so did my sister. Oh, my younger sister, which is older than me because I'm the youngest. It was kind of crazy because that's like, well, so that's kind of why that's why I was just never good at math. Because, like, you could say I'm decent at analytical thinking, but I'm very good at abstract. I'm more geared towards pattern recognition and abstract thinking. So it's like here's an example. The thing is, if you really here's an example. The number 10 doesn't exist. Like you may think, well, yes it does. Well, hold on, because I'll get to that. because with this theory, the number 0 is an absence of something, kind of like how darkness is an absence of light. So numbers start at 1, and the numbers end at 9. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are integers. Now, when it gets to 10, it resets. It goes from 9 to 1, but the 1 has an added 0. So what the number 10 really is 5, 5, 2 5s, 2 groups of 5. And then here's it too, is that because if you divide 10 by 2, it's 2 groups of 5. So in that sense, since the 1 would be, since it would be a 1 and 0, the 0 is an absence of something. So 11 would be 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 1 5, 1 6, 1 7, 1 8, 1 9, and here's where it changes. 2 0. Right when it gets to 19, 1 9, the 1 will flip to a 2. And the 9 will flip to a 0, making it 2 0, 20. So, and then it repeats again. It resets again. Except the first number, the first integer doesn't reset. The second integer does. The same thing is in numbers, the second integer in a 2-number system, such as 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, the second integer always resets after the number 9. Because there's 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, a 2 4, 2 5, 2 6, 2 7, 2 8, and a 2 9. And then it resets to 0, and the 2 actually flips to a 3. So then all that a 20 is it's 4 groups of 5. So it's 5 5 5 5. It's 5 objects, 5 objects, 5 objects, 5 objects. So it's 5 5 5 5 2 0 20. In other words, it's like tally marks. It's like the reason why they put 10 or 20 is to condense the format. It's to condense it more to make it more simplified. So in a sense, instead of saying 2 5s, instead of saying, oh, he has 2 5s dollars, they'll just say he has $10. 10, which is representative of 2 groups of 5. Same thing with 20. And then it's cool because, like, when it gets to 9, then it goes to 0, the 2 flips to a 3, and then it's 30. 3 0, 3 1, 3 2, and 3 3, and so on. So it's like I think more abstractly like that, to where it's like I can view things kind of from a different perspective a lot sometimes. I don't really think like most people, actually. And so the way I've designed my game, it's like I know it's gonna work, I know it's gonna take off. The problem is I'm struggling financially because, well, everything's so expensive. The food is expensive, the power is so expensive, the utilities are expensive. On top of that, the scalping and the tariffs have actually shot up the price of electronics. Like, dude, an RTX 5090, I saw on Amazon some guy was trying to sell a single RTX 5090 graphics card for $10,000. Like, what? 10 grand for a graphics card? Are you serious? You know how much I paid for my RTX 2070 back in 2018? $750. And it's actually beginning to be outdated now. I wanted to upgrade to a 4090. I just couldn't afford it. Now I want to upgrade to a 5090, and guess what? They're going for around $5,000 now, and I can't afford it. So it's like I need to upgrade my graphics card to keep up with the current advancements in like Unreal Engine 5 for like my game, my project, things like that, for optimization purposes and rendering purposes. And it's like, how am I supposed to afford all this if the prices keep going up? It's like, if prices don't come down and my computer becomes too obsolete, I won't be able to make this. I won't be able to afford. If anything, I'll have to sell a house. Like I'll straight up have to start selling everything else I own just to be able to afford a single computer part. That's fucking ridiculous. That literally pisses me off. Because, like, you're telling me I have to sell every musical instrument I have that is literally going towards my project just so I can afford one single fucking computer component? It's like, are you telling me I have to sell an automobile, a vehicle, a car just to afford? First of all, when did computers start being as valuable as a fucking car? Like, most cars where I live, used ones from like the 90s, they're going for around $5,000 to $10,000. And here you have a computer part that's literally they're straight up charging around $5,000 for it. That's the price of a fucking used car. I think a used car is more valuable than a fucking computer part. Because a car allows you to go places. It allows you to get to your job. It allows you to go see family. It allows you to do all sorts of things. To get to the airport. To go to the grocery store. To go to the hospital and things like that. A car is more important than a flimsy little part. And they think that a GPU is worth a car? It's like when did we get to Oompa Loompa Land? Because I don't remember seeing any freaking Oompa Loompas running around with freaking Willy Wonka. It's just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. So it's like, and it's just really stressful because like I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do if the prices keep increasing. Because if the prices keep increasing, I'll have to shelve this. I won't be able to make this game anymore. I won't be able to continue development on it if the prices keep increasing. You know, I try not to think about it. Sometimes it does concern me, you know. Because this game is literally one of my dreams. I really just want to see people play it. I want to see streamers play it. I want to see people's reactions to it. I just want to see people play it. I just want to see people play it with their friends. And you know, just because there's all these concerns and worries doesn't mean I'm going to stop development. I'm still going to push forward. It doesn't mean I'm giving up. It's just kind of like sense of uncertainty, which is why it's kind of why even times like this that are really hard, I still push forward. Because I know someday it's gonna happen. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, maybe this year or a year from now, but it will happen. Oh yeah, and I was gonna tell you guys something way earlier, which I forgot. There's a little feature the games used to have 20 years ago. Actually, a few features. The Xbox had its systems link where you could connect multiple Xboxes together. And then there was another feature. Most people, only older people that were born in the late 90s, early 2000s won't remember this. And it's called split screen. Split screen. So, I have confirmed to you guys, split screen is coming to the game. Split screen, not just 2-player split screen, 4-player split screen is coming to the game. And if I can't do 4-player split screen, I will do at least 2-player split screen. And on top of that, you can, two people who are playing split screen on the same PC can also play with people online. They can also invite their friends through Steam, etc., just like you used to be able to do it. And not only that, there are pre-game lobbies. Each lobby, there will be a pre-game lobby where, you know, there'll be a map voting thing, people can talk to one another and whatnot. And also on top of that, I actually kind of want to where I don't want lobbies to disband, really. I want lobbies to disband every 3 matches or so. Just that way people can play with the same lobby, like, for the next 2 matches if they really want. So, but let's say if you make a good friend, or you make a friend in 1 match, you're not just automatically kicked from the lobby and forced to join a new one afterwards. You still stay in the same lobby. It basically brings all the players back to the same previous lobby. Because that's how they used to do it in Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo Reach, Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, 2009, Modern Warfare 3, 2011, and so on and so forth. So yeah, there's going to be pre-game lobbies, there's going to be... But now I also was thinking of adding host migration too, like through peer-to-peer system, because, you know, a server system would be very expensive. I actually kind of want to start out with just, you know, the classic matchmaking that Halo 3 and Halo Reach used to have. But there was host migration. And I want, and, you know, if I get the funding, I will do a full-on dedicated server. If I get the funding. But only if I have the funding to do so. If I don't have the funding, I'll just do a regular peer-to-peer system with host migration. Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of cool. It's like... But I do want there to be a latency thing too. I want there to be a thing in the matchmaking, right, where players will always be grouped up with players who have the lowest latency. Meaning that it's not like a hard lock. I mean, whenever they matchmake, the system will always prefer, it will have an automatic preference to put you, the player, with other players with the same ping, or around the same ping. And if not, then it will put over. But I do want there to be an option where, I was thinking, what if I just give the player the option to turn that preference off? Where they have the preference of playing with people around the same latency, like the same ping, or they can play with other players, or they can turn that preference off to have a wider range of players. Get into a wider range of games faster and easier. Like they could get into an international game, like maybe people playing in the UK or Germany and whatnot. because like I miss that in older games, like where you could be playing Halo Reach and you could enter a lobby, right, and there could be people from the UK. You could have someone from the UK and Germany and whatnot just in the same lobby with other people from like Florida and whatnot. I miss that. Because like I have a vision for this game. Like I know where it's going. And you know, I haven't told you everything about it. I really haven't. I've only told you just the surface. There will be collectibles in the game now. All I'm gonna say is there's gonna be lots and lots of environmental storytelling. And there will be kind of like how Friday the 13th the game had the Pamela and Tommy tapes. I'm gonna have something similar, but it's not a tape. It's not strictly a tape. It's different. And that's all I'm gonna say there. But essentially, there are stories. There's a story with every map, and there's lots of environmental storytelling when you're actually playing the maps. And there are collectibles out there that will further explain them. There'll also be other mini mysteries that are just scattered around. And it's just something I really want. And also the variety of vehicles that players will be able to hide in. Abandoned vehicles, abandoned tanks. They can actually... Vehicles that, let's say their engines don't work, players can hide underneath them, or they can hide inside of them. They can hide in trunks, they can... and whatnot. And no, the thing is, if you're hiding under a vehicle and let's say a Rex grabs the vehicle, it's not gonna insta-kill you. It's not like that cheap thing from Friday the game where, oh, if he presses E on the bed and you're hiding under it, he'll just stab you through it. No. Essentially, they'll just pick the car up and they can just like move it and let go of it. Meaning, if you're quick enough, you can reposition before they get a chance to actually like strike at you directly. But also another thing I'm just going to allude to is that vehicles are more than they seem. Some vehicles are more than they seem. Some vehicles are they have an alternate function besides being a place to hide. That's all I'm going to say. It's just that I put so much time and effort into this. What I've practically told you is all I can really say about the project right now. I'm still working on stuff. I'm still coming up with new things to add. So it's like I have a little bit of a teaser in the works. I mean, I guess I could share some more abilities. Raptors can pounce. They can. Thing is, some have like consumed like limited time abilities. Some have just skills that they can do. Like Raptors can jump, Vexes cannot. And Raptors can jump through windows. They can. And there's also an interaction system where you can actually grab players as essentially like what you saw with TCM. There's a close encounter system, grappling system. There's a similar thing, but it's a little different. It's like, it's to the point to where a teammate can save a player in the midst of an encounter, like that type of close encounter, but it's in the sense to where if their health is low, they're like, if their health is low, they're automatically going to be pulled out, and it's just an automatic finisher. Where if their health is higher, then it's more like a there's different types of encounters. There's ones where if they slide under like a hole or a crack in a wall, then they can escape it if another player decides to interact and pull them back, rest the way out of it. And then the second type is if they're on the ground and they're constantly being bit repeatedly, they can stun them. They can just, it's a thing to where they'll start bleeding health, essentially. Well, it's not like an automatic thing. It's basically the health will start draining until it reaches 0. Then it's an automatic kill pretty much. But they can also like, they can also whack them in the head and stuff like that to kind of fight back. But I want to where they're different. If a survivor actually has like a pistol and whatnot, and they're in the interaction, like if they have a pistol and a knife, I want to where they can actually choose, you can actually select which one they want to use to actually fight back. Like if it's the knife, it will like, if they stab them enough times, it will stagger them, but it won't necessarily kill them. Where a gunshot may kill the Raptor player, but it will alert every other member of their team that are in a close enough proximity to it, because that sound is going to echo through the trees. So it's like, you're gonna choose one, but if you don't have a knife, you have to use that. If you don't have a gun, then you have to use a knife. That's just how it's gonna work. The thing is, it's in the sense to where it's only a special thing. I'm still like, it's all subject to change. I may scrap it, I may not, but what I am going to add, I'm gonna add grabbing. Mean, if you're a Raptor player, you can start grab. Like if somebody's injured, like there's several different states, injured states. There's a regular, injured state. Then there's a bleed state, and then there's kind of like a there's like a deathbed state, and there's like an end game state. Well, I'd say near death state. The near death state is mostly like, if a player gets into that state, it's usually either because their health is low enough. It's usually when their health gets low enough, either from being attacked so much or just by bleeding out that much. And I want to where most players, when they're in just the near death state, they can actually be grabbed by a Raptor player, and they can literally be dragged. They can literally be dragged for like unique kills specifically. Well, I want to wear it, same for other ones, but I want to wear a Rex on the other hand, the large creatures. A Rex or a Giga or a Spino, they completely bypass that. They completely bypass the near-death effect, and they can just straight up grab people at full health. They can grab people at full health, they can insta-kill people at full health. So it's not... So it's like... If you think being chased by a raptor or an Australsevia is scary, if you have the larger things on you, you're not gonna have a very fun time. Like, if it's a Carno, like, let's say if it's a Carno, you do not want to leave that building. Because if you leave a building with a Carno in the area, you are not gonna make it really far. Because it can chase you really far, and it can straight up outrun you. The Rex, on the other hand, they don't have a whole lot of stamina. They're slower. They're mostly ambush hunters. But they can literally track you anywhere in the map. So they may be slow. They may be among the slowest. But they can track you anywhere in the map. Anywhere. I really do mean that. So it creates this whole aspect of... like, you don't know if it's hunting you or not hunting you. And there will be all kinds of audio cues, sound cues. Like, I have a very elaborate sound design that I'm going to be implementing. Because the way it's designed is it's designed to make you feel like you're actually there. You know, it's kind of late, so I'm probably gonna call it. I'm just probably gonna call it a day right now. Just with the stream and probably play a few games with my friend and then wind down a bit before going to bed. I know, I don't know if the stream is a little short or not because, well, I do have a sync up monitor, but it's not working, so I can't see, you know, any of the chat or anything. No, I don't even know if anyone's watching anyways, because, you know, I never really get viewers or engagement. But I may do another one, I may do a third one. It kind of just depends on how I feel or if there's anything new. Like, if you have any questions, you can always ask. You can always ask any questions you have about what you're going to be able to do, what's going to be added, things like that. But yeah.